One of the best pieces of advice that I ever got riding a motorcycle was to ride your own ride. To this day, after many miles, numerous track days, and a lot of twisting the throttle, I can say that this piece of advice will keep a lot of riders twisting that throttle for many years into the future without any incident. In order to ride your own ride, you first have to, one, understand what your ride feels like and looks like. If you haven't completed the basic rider course or another motorcycle safety course, I can promise you that you're lacking in the fundamental skills required to ride your own ride. I know you can learn proper techniques from a friend or hell, even YouTube, but I'm not going to get too much in the weeds about like which courses to take or whatever. Point is, basic rider education is really the super important factor required first to ride your own ride. And I still practice U-turns on every bike I own or every bike that I ride. I try to at least. There's always room for improvement. After you get some basic skills under your belt, practice. That's the basics of it, practice. The BRC does not make you Valentino Rossi. I don't care what people think or people tell you. The BRC is not the end-all be-all of motorcycle riding. You need to practice those basic fundamental skills for real. There's beauty in the basics. And honestly, when somebody makes like a perfect 180 and exits a parking lot, it makes me moist. It's just so nice to see somebody like manage their bike and have control and know what they're doing. When you're practicing, you'll find out where you need improvement, whether that's low speed maneuvers or situational awareness or body position, throttle control. There's a lot of things that go into just being a better rider. Road scanning, trail braking, whatever it is. If you're taking time to practice and learn, however, you're in that sweet spot for riding your own ride. So if 2 was get the basics and practice the basics, then definitely 3 is don't rely on your bike too much. A lot of guys think the bike makes them fast. Boosa boys think they're fast. Their bike is fast. That doesn't make them fast. R1 Yemi fans, they think technology is great, and it is. It's cool. It definitely protects you a lot of the time when you're out there riding, but it doesn't make you fast. It makes the bike fast. I see it all the time on forums and message boards and Facebook pages and whatnot. Guys or girls, they want to upgrade to a 600 or 1000 because they've outgrown their bike. I was one of those guys too. You know, I started off in a 500 Ninja, old school, like super old school 500, and then I moved up to a 750, and then eventually I moved up to a 1200, and I thought I was going through the recommended like steps to be faster, which in a way is true, but I wasn't actually becoming a better rider. I was just buying a faster bike. That's it. That's all it really was. It wasn't until I was rocking a Ninja 250 later in life, and I started taking the motorcycle courses when I realized that honestly, all those years I was riding a bike, I was missing out on a lot of fun and a lot of things that I could have been doing just because I had a lack of skills. It never ceases to amaze me watching guys on big old expensive bikes like crab walk their motorcycles around in parking lots and not know how to do basics. It's kind of funny. Twisting your wrist on a bigger bike, a 600 or 1000 or bigger, it makes you feel really fast, but even when I had those bikes in the past, I felt like I was just trying to like keep up, like I was riding on the edge at all times, just trying to keep up with guys with 600s, 750s, whatever, I began to understand how to ride my own ride when I got myself the Ninja 250 and I started practicing the basics, and then I realized I really didn't know shit about shit. And then I guess number 4 would be riding your own ride. It's not about keeping up with somebody. There's always somebody faster. I promise you, there's always somebody faster. Chill out, push yourself to become better and become faster on your own. At some point, riding my 250, I realized that I wasn't struggling to keep up anymore. Actually, I wasn't even like trying to keep up anymore, but I didn't really need to try that hard. I was getting better in my skills and I was making it. I did a California Superbike School, ARTD, the Advanced Rider Track Day, with my 250, and I had a blast. I was banging through gears, practicing. One guy out there with a S1000 RR, he kept complaining that he only used first gear the entire time. I mean, he said it was kind of boring and like he wasn't really having fun out there. I was having a blast. Sorry folks, but the 250 Ninja especially is way more fun for a tight technical course. It's way more fun. 250s, 300s, 400s, it don't matter. A smaller bike is way more fun to ride on a tight technical course than a big bike, period. Don't get it twisted though. I'm not saying you should be out here practicing and trying to push and get faster on the streets, because to be honest, you shouldn't be out here on public roads trying to like get lap times and, you know, set down a faster time than the next guy or than your previous level. I mean, there's ways to get better, but don't be out here trying to set lap times on public streets. That's not the place to be doing that. There's a way to take skills you've learned and experiences you've had on a track even and apply them to public roads. But generally speaking, you should not be shooting for lap times on 2-lane roads in the mountains. That's not where to do it. Or finding the limits of your tires around town. Don't be doing that. Yes, you can have fun on public roads, and you can keep a pretty quick pace, but just pushing those limits of your tires or pushing your absolute limits as a rider, probably not the smartest place to do it on public streets. That's a very quick trip to the emergency room. Guys and girls that don't ride their own ride, they're prime candidates for the emergency room. Sometimes you get lucky, you pull off some crazy maneuver in the end, but when fate rears its ugly head and you're laying up in a hospital bed, who do you really have to blame, honestly? Who has to deal with the pain, the loss, the recovery time? You do, and I mean maybe family members do too. Hopefully others can learn from your bad mistakes, but if everyone just rides their own ride, all the pain, all the anguish in the end might be avoided. In the end, riding your own ride, it means you can still go out and have fun. You can still ride with a group and enjoy everything motorcycling has to offer. Don't get me wrong. People who ride their own ride, however, don't just like blindly dip into corners behind another rider, trusting the guy in front knows what they're doing. Hell, people who ride their own ride don't pressure other riders to keep up and do reckless stuff when lives are on the line. When I take people out for rides and we hit the twisties, I just tell everybody, ride your own ride. And sometimes people get it, and also some people give me this like awkward smile and just smile and nod. So I hope this bit of advice can maybe help another rider, as it has me. Ride your own ride. Don't worry about what other people are doing out here. When you're more skilled, you'll be faster, you'll be smarter, and 90% of the time you'll be safer than anybody else that's out here just twisting the throttle. At some point, after you keep this mentality, people are going to come up to you and they're going to ask you, or they're going to tell you like, hey, I'm just trying to keep up with you. Just tell them, ride your own ride. Show them this video. Ask them to subscribe to Gymkhana Josh's channel. And as I always say, leave this world better than you found. Peace.